This is Danielle Yeager here with part 3 of the happiness series, and this one is all about creating your own happiness. So if you missed part 1 and 2, you can find them in the description below and catch up. So often we wrap up our happiness in other people, objects, or even reaching some sort of milestone in our life. And I'm not suggesting it is wrong to have people, objects, or achievements bring you happiness. That's totally natural. And those are great additions to happiness. However, the problem is when your happiness is completely wrapped up in these things. Maybe you can relate. So when your happiness hangs on the hinges of what another person does, if you can buy the next object of your desire, or achieve the next thing, then you're putting yourself on an emotional roller coaster. And you're giving away your control, which I know if you're in my audience, if you're watching this, you want to have control over your life. So this roller coaster and this lack of control leads to a dramatic life full of fleeting highs and devastating lows. And this is often the way we are taught happiness at a young age. If you feel this way, it's totally natural because that is the way that we were taught. So when our hormones are chaotic and we lack control over our own lives during childhood, it makes sense to act this way. But sometimes as adults, we forget to grow out of that phase because we've just gotten so familiar with it and don't even realize there's another way. So I want to propose to you that we put more effort in creating our own happiness. When you create your own happiness, you are taking back the control and you're creating stability for your happiness. So you might be wondering, okay, well, how do you create your own happiness? So you create your own happiness by figuring out what makes you happy and brings you joy in the first place. And then you start creating opportunities for those things throughout your everyday life. So these do not have to be grand ideas. It is the little things that you can add into your everyday life that really help create an atmosphere of happiness. And the best part is that you get to create these things. You get to decide what clothing you wear in the morning and how that affects your mood, how you care for yourself each day. You know, the little extra amount of time you spend taking care of yourself can really add a lot of happiness. You get to control who you allow into your life. So maybe you don't want to hinge your happiness on other people, but if there are people in your life that are constantly creating negativity and bringing you down, maybe it's time to let go of those people and start attracting people who make you laugh and bring joy into your life. You also get to decide what opportunities you take advantage of, what food you consume, what things you say no to, and how much fun you choose to just have on an everyday basis. You get to decide these things. And these are all key things to create a mood and atmosphere of happiness. And most of those things I just talked about are just little everyday things that come up and give you an opportunity to choose happiness or not. So when you start creating more happiness in these small ways, you will actually see that you are in more control of your mood than you realize. And that is an empowering feeling. Plus, once you start these habits of happiness, you will start to see opportunities that can create even greater happiness in your life. Because once you start paying attention to something, your awareness just becomes greater and greater and greater of that thing. So, such as taking risks to go for what you really want, having more adventure, trying new things, saying yes to yourself and what you really need and desire in each moment. You will have started to shape your mind to focus on happiness and opportunities versus focusing on despair and lack. And today, I want you to start with realizing that you get to create your own happiness, that you have some control, and just to start playing with that idea. So I would love to hear what comes up for you as you start exploring how you can create your own happiness. So please share in the comments below. And if you want to have a little more fun exploring happiness in your everyday life, then join the 21-Day Happiness Challenge. And you can find the link for that in the description below. And this was part 3 of the happiness series. There is one more part in this series, so make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss it. And I will see you there next week.